Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this new edition of Sartorial Talks. Today, as you can immediately see, we're going to speak about shoes, but we're not going to speak about any kind of shoes. We're going to speak about my personal collection of shoes. Yes, the time has come. You've been asking it for many, many years because, as you know, we've been producing 6 episodes on my personal wardrobe in terms of suits, overcoats, and sport jacket. But we never did the same for my personal collection of shoes. So here we go. Today, I decided to say, okay, you've been asking many times, so I'm going to show you my real shoes. And those shoes have been worn a lot. Most of them have been worn quite a lot. So you're going to see not only what are my favorite shoes, but how they behave in the long run. That is to say, how they manage to stay well. Of course, they are maintained pretty well at my home, but it's an occasion for me to show you how shoes are aging. And you will discover with the 6 models that I want to show you out of my personal closet that if you take care of your shoes, ladies and gentlemen, as we've been saying this with Sonia since years, but if you take care of your shoe, and I'm not saying taking care every morning or every single day, no, from time to time, just use a little bit of good products, but those shoes have the potential to be, to age well and to be with you for all your life. So let's start. Okay, I must say I'm a little bit sentimental right now because I'm going to start with 2 pairs that have been crafted bespoke shoes for me by 2 fantastic artisans who both passed away, one in 2017 and the last one 3 months ago only. And I will start with this very pair, which is this absolutely stunning pair of Oxford with alligator insert in the middle by my friend, the late Stephane Jimenez. Stephane passed away 3 months ago. It was a catastrophe for Sonia and myself and for the whole shoe lovers community because Stephane was looked upon as one of the, I would say, one of the last of the Mohicans, one of the guys who was the figure of high-level craftsmanship. He's been an instructor at the Compagnon du Devoir, you know, this very specific craftsman league that we have in France, where they do their Tour de France, going from master to master. He was very involved into that, and on top of that, he was a delicious and a great guy, uncompromising artisan and uncompromising artist. So rest in peace, Stephane. We are missing you a lot already, and I will cherish this pair of shoes all my life because this is something that I know you spend hours and hours and hours on this very pair with your beautiful wife, Tomei Furuta, that we say hello to. We hope she's doing okay despite the difficult moment. She's a fantastic closer. She's from Japan, and so Tomoe and Stephane crafted this fantastic pair of shoes for me. So I'm not going to go into detail. This is a masterpiece, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday I had a professional of shoemaking visiting me, and I showed him this pair as a tribute to Stephane, and he said, oh wow. He said, really, Hugo, I've rarely seen something like that in my life. Everything's perfect, the proportion, the last is totally bespoke, everything by hand, probably a couple of 100 hours of work. The brogues are totally different from here to there. I mean, it's just a fantastic pair with alligator by Stephane Jimenez. This one, to be honest with you, I'm going to wear it from time to time, but I'm going to take great care of it because it's, I know I can feel the presence of my friend Stephane when I look at this shoe. So that's my favorite pair. Unfortunately, if you want to have the same, it's not going to be possible because the artisan is no more with us. But I wanted to take the opportunity to show you what I consider probably the pinnacle of my personal collection. And the second one I wanted to share with you has also been made by me by a fantastic shoemaker who passed away in 2017. He was a young man, he was like 49 years old, something like that. And his name is Riccardo Freccia Bestetti. Riccardo Freccia Bestetti was a character, to say the least. Well, we've been also very shocked by the fact that he passed, but now we can start to smile again. It's like 6 or 7 years ago now. And when we think, we try to remember who was Freccia Bestetti with Sonia, we can't help but smile. Because this man was a character. He was some kind of a free spirit in this world. The first time we visited him, not the first time, the second time we visited him was for our book, The Italian Gentleman. So there's a chapter on the Italian Gentleman about Riccardo, Freccia, Bestetti. And this guy was unfindable. We couldn't find the factory. We were with Lai Roblin and Sonia, and we were looking everywhere. We were in a no man's land, it's a kind of a semi-industrial area. And this guy was nowhere to be found. I said, what is that? We came specifically to his place for the chapter in our book. And then after a good solid hour, we found a little sticker on the letterbox, and it was not even written Bestetti, it was written Freccia. Freccia, it was his nickname. Freccia in Italian means the arrow. And I don't know why people was calling him Freccia, but he was a strong character. And so we pushed the door of some kind of a very strange place, and he was here, alone, in the middle of a factory with a lot of dust and fantastic shoes everywhere. You could immediately notice it was not very well organized, but it was a genius. It was, like for me, it was closer to a sculptor almost than to a shoemaker. And he did this pair, and it's fun because I just opened it this morning. Okay, we're not going to be able to show this on the camera. Maybe we will. Inside, I have to remove the last. And inside, it's written, Ciao Hugo, da Freccia. It means, hello, Hugo. I don't know if we can catch this, but we will catch this on close shot. It's written, hello, Hugo, from Freccia. You understand? For us, these are the people that we used to really support and love and be friends with. And it's a little bit emotional for me to have those two pairs made by two great people of the shoemaking industry, two strong characters of different kind. Stephane was more discreet, Freccia was more exuberant, but these people and those two pair of shoes for me are some kind of gems. It's my jewelry, something I'm going to take care of until the day I die, because it's not only shoes for me, it's a testimony of what shoemaking at its best level should be, and of course to honor their memory. So that was those two shoes. Now the third one is also a bespoke one. So this one was fully bespoke, fully handmade. This one bespoke, fully handmade. And this one also bespoke, fully handmade. And this is a shoe that has been crafted by a company called Mario Bemer. So Bemer, if you are in the shoe, if you are a shoe aficionado, may ring a bell. You remember Stephane Bemer? Stephane Bemer is still here. He's not here. Stephane Bemer died at 49 also in 2012. But his brother, Mario Bemer, also had his company. So Stephane Bemer is still a good company, just rolling with beautiful products. That is directed by Tommaso Melani now and his family. But Mario Bemer decided to do his own production. And then back in these years, he had a Japanese shoemaker. His name was Seiji Miyagawa. I'm not sure if I pronounce it well, Seiji Miyagawa. And Seiji was a bespoke shoemaker, everything by hand, working for Mario Bemer. I know that since 5 or 6 years he quit it, and now he's back in Japan as far as I know. But he did this fabulous pair of shoes. This is a classic. Those ones were more exuberant, a little bit more pointed, a little bit more like a stylistic statement. This one is more, this is a classic of classics for me. It is an Oxford, a beautiful Oxford, 5 eyelet with a cap toe, with a beautiful medallion, and in a fantastic leather, which is from an Italian tannery. I love the touch of this leather, which is in burgundy. And it's this color, I must say, okay, I must confess something to you. When I was trying to choose the color for this beautiful pair of bespoke shoe, as you can see, I would say, okay, I was attracted by burgundy, but I had the fear that it would look too American. Well, I don't know if you're aware of that, but for us in Europe, when we look at American businessmen, they often use burgundy shoes with blue suits. It's like a uniform a little bit. And so I said, I don't want to look too much American. But I decided to go for it, and I did well, because this is a very versatile color. It goes with blue, it goes with gray, it goes with brown, it goes with everything, pretty much. You remember I told you so many times about my rust pocket square? I think that burgundy might be the rust pocket square of shoes, and this goes with everything. It's the same, for example, for you have things that are going with everything. Polka dot ties, for example. ties with polka dots of different colors, goes pretty much with everything, with every kind of outfit, but it's the same for burgundy. I love this shoe, beautiful work. I've been worn, well, I worn it pretty, I would say 50 to 60 times, so it goes very well. This is the kind of shoe, and it goes for those three, of course. If I maintain them correctly, not every morning, just correctly from time, once a month, once every 2 months with a little bit of moisturizing cream, nothing more than that, I think these three shoes should and will probably survive me. And as I have the luck to have a son who is pretty much my size, maybe I can transmit it to him when I will myself pass away. But this is not in my plans for the next month. So let's go now to a green shoe. So if you follow Parisian Gentleman, you may have seen this shoe back in 2012 because it's a shoe that has been crafted by Philip Carr at St Crispin's. St Crispin is a beautiful company, is in Romania, and they have a very special factory where each shoe is made one by one. And you are saying, what this guy is saying? Every shoe is made one by one. Yes, but normally a factory to go and make a shoe like that, they need to have several orders to put a line of crafting because it costs a lot to organize a line of production for a shoe. In this company, every order is directly filled and they put a line for only one shoe. So one shoe is really unique. And this shoe, it's a made-to-measure shoe, of course, by St Crispin in Romania. I decided to do a beautiful Oxford, but with two different kind of skins. You got a suede skin, a green suede skin, and a green calf. And I think this is a beautiful shoe. I wore it a little bit less, this one. Why? Because, well, green is a little bit less versatile than burgundy, for sure, but at the same time, this shoe is aging very well. Look at the last. This is a beautiful work, literally, and I think this shoe is a monster of style, honestly. And what I like in St. Crispin is that, well, I don't know if they reproduce this for other customers, but normally you can really design your own shoe, and they have your last, and then you can reorder from them because they have your last and your size, and they can do a beautiful job. St. Crispin's, there's also a chapter about St. Crispin's in our book that I wrote with my wife, Sonia Glynn, called Shoes. Unfortunately, this book is out of stock and with no plans to reprint it. We may have another, maybe in our attic, 20 copies left, but we're going to reserve them for some kind of special operation we will do maybe around Christmas. We'll see what we're going to do. But anyway, there's a chapter on St. Crispin. This is a beautiful, beautiful company. And look at this, my friends. This is amazing. This shoe, same thing. If I maintain it well, and I will maintain it well, it will survive me. This is fantastic. You see on those three, there's a little thing here. This is my initials, which is in brass, little brass pegs. It's a little bit of a little sign. I like to do this. It's just for myself. I think it's also the same here. Yeah, you got it here. This one is just it's in the leather directly, and I think I also have it here. Yes, I have it here also with brass, and I don't know. It's in France we call this une petite coquetterie. It's something that we do only for ourselves, and nobody will see it, but I like to do it. Now I'm going to talk to you about this one. This one, look at this. Oh, you see, I didn't shine them specifically for the show. I just took them from my closet. This one is from the beautiful company called Bontoni. So if you are a shoe lover, you know Bontoni, for sure. They are in Montegranaro. Montegranaro is in the Marche region, and it's the cradle. Montegranaro is to Italy what Northampton is to the UK. It's the cradle of shoemaking. And these people it's a family, the Gazzani family. We like these people just for their little history. So you'll have a chapter on Bontoni, on the Italian gentleman. There's a big chapter about them. We love what they do. They are artists, and the person who is in charge of making the last is the shape of the shoe. And made on the wood, is also a violin maker. So it's funny to see, only in Italy you can see stuff like that, because, you know, productivity is not their concern. They just do shoes at their own rhythm. And this is what we like. Okay, when you're a customer and you can't wait to receive your shoe, you can find this a little bit annoying. But the Italian flair, specifically at Bontoni, say, oh, okay, we do our best. That is to say, they do the shoes at their own rhythm. Beautiful shoes, of course. And because the last maker is also a violin maker, so he's making 2 or 3 shoes and then a violin. And it's absolutely astounding to see in a workshop like that, you see shoes and you see violins, because these are artisans and very close to be artists. Bontoni, fabulous. This one is a single buckle. I love it because there's a little bit of it's elastic in the middle, so it's extremely comfortable. It's what we call a Norwegian stitching, which is a very sturdy, very beautiful, and I've been wearing this pair of shoes a lot because it at the same time extremely comfortable, it has a strong personality, but it's also extremely elegant. So Bontoni, this is one of my favorite shoes of all time. And I can't finish without speaking to you about my favorite pair of shoes. Well, okay, I said 6 times already that was my favorite pair. So these are my 6 favorite, let's say. But this one, I have a special soft spot for it, because this is the shoe I probably wore the most in my whole life. I would say 300 times, maybe 400 times. It has been resold only once recently. This is from Paolo Scafora. This is for me the emblematic model from Paolo Scafora. Paolo is a good friend of us. He has a factory in Casandrino, close to Napoli, in Italy. And it is a fantastic factory with a lot of handwork involved, with a great team of people who are handwelting the shoes by hand, which is a very complex gesture. And this is a beautiful place. And he did this pair for me in 2016, I guess, 17 maybe. And this is a very special one. So it's an Oxford, but everything on the pattern that you can see here, on the upper, everything is simulated, because in fact there's no stitching on top of the shoe, it's reverse stitching. That is to say, this little edge here, beautiful, is created by the way that, by the fact that it's stitched inside the upper. So it's quite a technical gesture, very technical gesture actually, but I love this beautiful pair. It's a Norwegian stitching, fabulous Norwegian, extremely sturdy, but it's a specific one. You can see this one is Norwegian stitching, but I show you the stitching stops here, and then after the heel is glued. Here, in the case of this one, it goes all, it's called 360 hand welted. We call it baraquette in French. It's a very strange word, and this is all the way to the back of the shoe. And well, I can tell you this pair of shoes will survive me for sure. It has been resold after 6 years of intense wearing, and look at that. The shoe looks like it's almost new. So there was Paolo Scafora, and probably the shoe I prefer the most. So. Well, this is the first 6 pairs I wanted to share with you out of my personal closet. Of course, I went to very kind of superlative and specific pairs that are pretty much all bespoke, or at least made to measure with special patterns. And of course, those 2 which will not be available again because my friend passed are in the paradise of shoemakers upstairs in another world. But the rest, you can find St Crispin, Paolo Scafora, Bontoni, Mario Bemer in Florence. They're still available. Maybe not these very specific models because they are bespoke, but still you can, I will put you the links to the reference of these shoes. The next episode will be dedicated to more ready-to-wear shoes of a more reasonable budget, so that I can give you inspiration and share with you my passion for this beautiful object that we wear every day of our life and that are crafted by exceptional people. Because we just noticed with Sonia, in the shoemaking industry, there's a lot of strong characters. And life is only interesting when you meet strong characters. People who don't have strong characters are not very interesting. We love people with a very strong character. And in Italy, you are, of course, at the right place, as well as in France. And this is in Romania. But look at that. You can tell that those shoes shows the character of the guy who is making them. And I think this is something we discovered very recently with Sonia, is that I think it's when you look at the shoe, you look at the guy who made it a little bit, because there's something that is very specific. So that was the 6 first pair. I give you an appointment to the next episode of Sartorial Talks. So we're going to deep dive a little bit more, maybe not on the next episode to be published, but soon enough, probably in September, October, we will continue this journey into my personal shoe closet. And in the meantime, dress well, be nice, take care of others. Bye-bye, my friends. Be well.